Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Get to Know Your City. Today we're with our Director of Department of Community Service, Anton Krucky. How's it going, Anton?
Good.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about what your department do for the city.
Okay, thank you, Councilmember. So the Department of Community Services is 5 divisions, and we kind of look at ourselves from homeless to housing and from keiki to kupuna. And so that's how we manage ourselves around for the city. We do all of the most of the federal programs that the city engages with, right? So we're a very leveraged organization for the city. 84% of my budget comes from the federal government. So we have a division for elderly affairs. So if you want to engage us, please, we have pamphlets on services, things we can do. We do meals for you. We want to make sure you feel connected. You can contact us at communityservices.honolulu.gov. We also have grants and aids. So the program, when the council puts out the $9 million for grants and aid, we manage those programs. We just closed that one out 2 days ago, right? So I think we had 177 applications, so we'll be working on them, working with the commission on doing that. We also have our customer assistant division, and that's all our vouchers. That's Section 8 vouchers, VASH vouchers, emergency housing vouchers, which we run through Partners in Care. If those are something you need to know about, please contact us. We're very open on that. We also have our community-based development division, and those are the ones that do the big projects, right? We do big service providers. We're supporting IHS, US Vets, Catholic Charities, all of those guys, right? And then we do the big projects, the big construction projects, but they have services around them. And so I think you're going to see us be coming out with a new way of doing things. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to show partnership with the state. And I think you've seen the mayor talk about unprecedented working with the state. 2 years ago when I came on board, we talked to the state. And I said, we have to stop talking and we have to start collaborating. Then we started collaborating, and then we started doing joint efforts. Now I'm going to go into contract partnerships. And what that means is the city can buy facilities, right? And then we can contract with the state to run the facility. So whether it's stabilization beds that I know is important to you, whether it's mental health treatments, drug treatments, family shelters, those kind of things, we can do contracts with the state to do that. So we've rewritten the memorandum of understanding, and we're just about finished with that. As soon as that's out there, we'll be cranking those forward, right? And then I also have one of the best kept secrets in the city is Work Hawaii. And this group is fantastic. We have multiple service providers and vans, right? We also do all of the national Get Back to Work programs. So we're doing all job training. We really help people along. We also have a work to rent program where you can come here. We'll pay your rent. We'll train you, put you in a job, and as long as you're working, we're going to pay your rent for you so that you can keep the money that you're earning, right? We really care. And then we have programs for people coming out of prisons, so we can train them so they don't go from prisons to homelessness. So anyway, those are my 5 divisions: homeless to housing, keiki to kupuna.
Wow, that's a big department. Plenty of responsibilities. Okay, so like the biggest topic right now is homelessness. So what are you guys doing to deal with the situation here on Oahu with homelessness?
Homelessness is such a complex issue, right? It's complex in terms of your ability to do things by law, by resources. It's complex by the individuals that have become homeless, right, or houseless. I think also with the amount of Native Hawaiians that are in that situation, they have a whole different view. So how you can work with those views is really important. So as complex as that is, it really comes down to breaking it down to what can I do that would make somebody make a decision to engage a system on a journey that would help their lives. What can I do to help them make that decision, right? And then, do I have the capabilities to service those decisions? So that if everybody, on Thanksgiving morning, we say a prayer, everybody raises their hands, they say they're in, am I ready to service that? I don't think I can, right? So that's what we work on. We work on ways that we can get people to make decisions. A good example of that would be CORE, right? The program that we put out, Crisis Outreach, Response, and Engagement. So a non-HPD engagement with an individual on the street, building trust, building relationships, and then maybe when they ask and they want to give advice, like, would you like to go with us to the shelter, or would you like to go here? The person then says, okay, I like you guys, I'll go do that, right? That's an example, right? Another example would be Honan, 24/7. That's the program where we have the really sturdy tents, and we move it around the island, and we stay in a location for about 90 days, right? I think we've been to Waipahu twice. right? And so it's a triage center where someone comes in, they can get a little bit of stableness to them, 4 or 5 days, and while they're there, we're working on taking them to a shelter, getting them housing, maybe returning them to their family, and in many cases, returning to where they came from, right? With reception on the other end. So that's that piece. I think the partnerships that I talked about with the state are ways to address the capacity issue. And I think we need to do more of that, right? I think that I'm very enthused about the concept of transitional villages, and we have money ready. I've got congressionally directed dollars, so we should feel good about a congressional delegation, and we're going to build some villages. And I also know the state is very enthused by this, and they're going to be building villages. So we're going to try to pick up a set of capacity that aren't really for shelters, because we may have maxed out somewhat in there, and people that can't go right to housing, right? Either we don't have the capacity or they won't survive in housing. And so these villages can fill a slot in the middle. But I think it's an all hands on deck thing. I urge everyone to want to help, whether you're a landlord, whether you're a volunteer organization, if you're faith-based organizations, we welcome all.
That's awesome. Yeah, see, there you go. You can get involved and you can help. I really appreciate the time. I appreciate the work you're doing here at DCS. Thank you, Director. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Councilmember.